Hey crafters, have you ever wanted to make a project that was too big for your Cricut? Well, I did just that this week. Decided to video it as I did it so that I could take you all along on the journey with me. I'm Sarah and I love making all things craft. Let's get to it. This is going to be a really big project. This sign will be 210 centimeters long. That is over 2 meters. And there's no way that's going to fit on my Cricut mat. So let's make it work. First, I want to make this into the size that it's actually going to be. So I'm going to change that to 210 centimeters. Now that makes it pretty big. I'm just going to use the zoom to take it down to 25% so I can see more of it at once. But it still doesn't all fit on my screen even, let alone my mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these words up to sizes that will fit on my mat. First, I'm going to ungroup them all. And then I'm going to regroup them into sizes that will fit onto my 60 centimeter mat. So I'm going with the double length mat. And because they're only 20 centimeters high, they will actually fit crossways. So I'm just going to weld this piece. I'm going to try and keep as many letters together as I can on the one. Next, I'm going to weld these 5 letters together because they will fit on one mat. And continue on with the other letters. Breaking it up into sizes that will fit on my mat. And welding each section so that will cut them together. Just going to change the colour. Highlight them all and change it to that colour because they're going to be cut out of gold vinyl. Click make it. Now it's going to ask me, because it's bigger than the usual size mat, am I happy to use the big mat? Yes. So as you can see, it's broken the words up onto different mats. And this last one fits that in there. I'll just move that one down a little bit. That gives me room in between the words. And then we continue. Premium vinyl. And let's cut it out. So I'll add my gold vinyl to my 60 centimeter mat. Trim it off. Use my brayer to make it straight and flat, and into the Cricut it goes. First part all done. Trim off the excess vinyl because you never know, I might need to keep that for later. And then weed. This is the fun part. Don't forget that middle bit. First one done. And you just see here, I'm just quickly going to show you all of the other pieces as I put them all together, weed them all, get them all ready to go. Now comes the fun part. To add them all together, I need to line them all up so I can pop my transfer tape on top so that when it goes onto the side of the train, it's all lined up straight. This was actually harder than it looks because not all the letters were even. The S was actually a bit bigger than the other letters, so it came a bit lower than the other letters, so it was harder to line up. But I did the best I could. And then for the transfer tape, I don't really know what I was thinking here. Somehow I needed to save that little bit of transfer tape. You never know. So anyway, I trimmed the transfer tape to be the size that I needed it. Then I added the transfer tape. Smoothed it out, took off the mat, put some tape on the back to keep it together. Smoothed it down, sticking it to the transfer tape, getting rid of all those little bubbles. Voila, first word. Perfect. Now to do it again with the rest. Trim off the excess, line it up as best as possible. Add the transfer tape. I did a bit better this time. I trimmed it after I'd added it. I learnt from my first mistake. Worked so much better. Second word done. Bit more tape. Keep the two pieces together. Give it a bit of a trim. Second word done. The last one was the easiest. Pretty simple, this one, after the big two before that. Trim the transfer tape off the mat, bit of a trim. Finished. So there we go. The Christmas Express. All done. And here it is on the side of the train, all finished. Looks great. Ready for the Christmas production. I actually had to make two of these because there's another one exactly the same on the other side. But they turned out perfect. So crafters, thanks for watching today, and I hope you learned something about cutting things that are too big for your Cricut and how you can put them together and make them work. I actually made that video a little bit of time ago, just before Christmas, and didn't get around to posting it. So that's why I'm dressed a little different than I was in the intro. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you subscribe? Because I'll be making a whole lot more things in the future. Thanks for joining me on my crafty adventures, and I'll see you next time.